With the Nintendo DS and Wii, a large number of people who had stopped playing video games have started playing games again, and there are a lot more people who have now played games for the very first time. So when we thought about this, we felt it would be best for something like New Super Mario Bros. To come to Wii. And when we thought about what shape it should take, because the Wii is kept in the living room where everyone gathers, we felt it needed to allow everyone to play together. That was the basic idea. Now in the original Mario Brothers, Mario and Luigi played together, and they weren't really cooperating, but they weren't really fighting either. It was very memorable, and I always wanted to try to make that experience again. So every time we created a Super Mario Bros. Game, we experimented with multiplayer, but it never really went very well. So, with that background in mind, we decided to use the power of the Wii to specifically make a Super Mario Bros. Game that people could play together. And so, we started our experiments with the thought that this would become New Super Mario Bros. For Wii. Now this Super Mario Bros. Game is based on extremely simple design, using just the plus control pad and 2 buttons, and the screen scrolls sideways with the goal to the right. It's very easy to understand, but it contains a lot of different techniques. Now as for why we chose some of these abilities, this time we thought it would be fun to have players shake the Wii remote. So we decided to create a lot of play based around the shake motion. So now you can lift things up, you can fly into the sky with a propeller suit, and there's another special technique where when you shake the Wii remote while jumping, you do a quick little spin in the air. And using this quick little spin, you can extend your jump distance, and that plays a big part in some of the super play techniques. So it's this compatibility with a new interface, by like freezing things with the ice and then picking them up and then throwing them. And I think with this we found some moves and techniques that work well with the game and the controls. The question of how you make a game with the appropriate difficulty for someone playing the game for the first time, while still offering the appropriate difficulty for people who have played the entire series, is something we tried to address when we made New Super Mario Bros. For Nintendo DS, but it proved very difficult. This time we thought, if we had a mode that could help people playing the game for the first time, we could make a game that would satisfy veteran gamers, and maybe even let them help out the newcomers. With Super Guide, when you're playing Mario alone, you may find levels that you just can't clear no matter how many times you try. So at times like this, the Super Guide block appears. It appears after you've failed a level 8 times. And when you hit the Super Guide block, Luigi runs through the stage for you. But he doesn't just clear the stage for you, he shows you an example of how you can beat it. Oh, that's how you get through the stage. In Mario games, a lot of the time when you can't clear a stage, it's because you're trying to take the wrong path, or you don't understand that if you stomp on this enemy, or you defeat that Goomba, it will make getting through the area a lot easier. So you're playing it the hardest way you can. So you can watch the example and try it again yourself, or once Super Guide has gotten you past the hard part, you can take control and finish the rest of the level on your own. There are a variety of modes that let you play multiplayer. And the first is the most basic, and that's where you play through the full Mario game from World 1 through World 8. And you can do this alone, or you can do this with up to 4 players. So this was a challenge for us this time. You can work your way through a Mario game together. So, for example, if Dad is really good, he can carry a young child who maybe isn't as good through the game. Mario games are designed so that when you fall into a hole, for example, you start back at the beginning. But when you're playing with 4 people, as long as one person is still alive, you can keep going on ahead. So playing with others offers an element of ease that helps you get further along. Even if you can't really play the game all that well, there is a way to get through it. So a child, for example, can help their mother along. And again, This is all, possible through the multiplayer mode. Now, there are two dedicated multiplayer modes, and one is coin battle. And that's a heated fight between you and your friends. You're competing for points, and you fight for coins to earn points. And one more is the free-for-all mode, and that lets you play the levels from story mode in any order you want. You can play this one or that one. It's almost kind of like a tasting menu that lets you try lots of different levels. And people, I think, will discover that there are a lot of different ways to have fun, depending on, who you're playing with and how they play on different levels. It's a little bit like kind of a Mario game of tag. So if you play the multiplayer modes like that, I think you'll find them very fun. Now, of course, Nintendo does have its own networks, and we did make an online multiplayer Smash Brothers game. So maybe people will ask, well, why didn't you do the same for Mario? But I think that playing together face-to-face really fits better with the Mario experience. So that's what we focused on this time. If you ask me to say where in the Mario series this game falls in terms of difficulty, I'd have to say it falls somewhere in the middle. Maybe somewhere between the difficulty of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. And I myself was pretty passionate about this. So we tried to create a game that offered a lot of strategy. When you see some of the hint movies, the super skill videos, you'll be encouraged to play even more. And surprisingly, when you see the super guide block appear, it kind of frustrates you, because you can't believe you failed 8 times in a row, and it makes you want to finish without making a single hit block appear. So if you collect all the star coins, or complete the game without letting a hint block appear, or if you do some other things in the game, you might see a star appear on the title screen, or the stars might sparkle a little bit differently, or some other reward might appear. So I hope people will try to use every last strategy to try to find them all. We've brought Super Mario Bros. Back to its original side-scrolling state and packed in plenty of tricks and techniques. It's of course great fun to play multiplayer with friends and to compete in the coin battle mode. And it's also packed with a lot of elements and strategies for people who are just playing alone. So we created the game with the hope that even a year from now, people will still be playing it together and will be amazed at how much fun it still is. So I hope you'll all go deep into unlocking all of its secrets. Thank you.